Hi, for this video, we'll be learning arithmetic series. So to recap, on our previous video, we have learned about arithmetic sequences. Arithmetic sequences, when you talk about sequences, we talk about something like T1, T2, T3, until Tn, right? And we learned the formula for this was Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 times D, right? That's what you've learned, where A is your first term, which is T1, and then your D is your second term minus your last term, which is the same as the third term minus the second term. Okay, so that's what you've learned about sequences. Please check on my previous videos about sequences. We went deep on sequences. And now with series, you're going to learn the simple thing as well, almost the same. You're going to see how parallel they are. So what you see is here we have T1 plus, it's no longer comma, it's plus, T2 plus, or rather plus or minus, because it can be T1 minus T2, or T3 plus or minus, plus or minus Tn. Okay, so other books, they want to leave it as plus, which is fine, but you can put a minus there. It's always going to be fine. So what I'm trying to highlight in this is it's always going to be plus or minus, so that's when you know it's a series, right? And this is equated to Sn, where Sn means that is the sum of n terms. Okay, and the formula for this is Sn is equal to n over 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d, where a is the same as this a, so a is T1, and d is all the same as this d. D is equal to T2 minus T1, which is the same as T3 minus T2. Okay, and then n is your last n, this n. This is the same n. Cool, right? So let me give you an example. Probably the question they'll ask you, they'll want you to evaluate this. They'll say, give me an example. They'll say, evaluate the following. Okay, when they say this, they're just meaning that they want you to find the sum of n terms. And the question is, you have 2 plus n plus 16 plus ... 251 terms. 251 terms, what does it mean? When you say it's 251 terms, it means T 251. That's what it means. So what does this mean? That means that you have 2 plus n plus 16 plus ... plus 2t 251. Look at this. It is your 2 is T1 plus your n is T2. You see, this is your T1, this is your T2, your T3, okay, plus, and then your T 251. We don't know 251. We just know that they are summing this series until the 251 term, right? So that's what you know, and they want you to find the total of that. So how do you find the total of that? How do you sum all of that until the 251 terms? So you're going to use the formula n over 2 times a plus n minus 1 times d. Cool. Now, remember I said this n here is the same as that n. So we already have your n as this 251. So you have s of 251 is equal to 251 over 2 times 2. Your a is your first term, which is 2 plus 251 minus 1, and your d is the difference between the first and the second term. All right, as we have learned here. D2 minus T1, T2 minus T1, so your D is T2 minus T1, which is 9 minus 2, which is 7. So as 251, so you can take your calculator and say 251 over 2 is equal to 2 times 2 plus 251 minus 1 times 7. And then this is your answer. I know it's a big number, which makes sense. I mean, you're summing 2 plus 9 plus 16 up until the 251 terms, and then this is your number. This is your answer. Simple as that. Awesome.